We will not be intimidated. We will not be cowed. If their desire is for Kenya to pull out of Somalia, my friends, all they need to do is what they should have done 20 years ago, which is put their house in order, and Kenya will come back to Kenya. We will also be putting in place a commission of inquiry to establish if we could have done things better going forward, to see where there were lapses and to see how we can strengthen those lapses. But even as we do so, I wish to remind every single one of us that whereas security is the principal role of any government, and we accept that responsibility as a government, let us also be clear that security is also the responsibility of every single individual citizen. However hard they endeavor, they disguise their intention, we can always tell. We have resisted them before, and we shall resist them now. Just as we have succeeded before, we shall succeed again. This nation is ordained by God to be our home, and it is destined for greatness. We must love, defend, and work for it with all our hearts, and the best way to defend Kenya is by staying united and remaining faithful to our values. Let us work together as a society to bring these people out before they do more harm to our people. Let us work together as a society to ensure that we are all vigilant. And taking the words again from today's religious meeting, please, let us be, each one of us, our brother's keeper. And I'm sure with that, we will succeed, we will overcome, and we will be rid of these evildoers amongst us.
Let this tragedy make us change, and change for the better. We have to change the way we gather intelligence information and the speed with which we act on the information gathered. Intelligent information not acted on certainly serves no purpose and is a waste of taxpayers' money instead. You have to change the way we secure our borders, not just our borders with Somalia, but with all our neighbors. Business as usual will not do. This attack must lead to change in how we issue our country's identification and travel documents like passports, national identity cards, and driving licenses. Digitization is a must. A higher punishment ought to be meted on the men and women who trade in Kenya's identification and travel documents. We must prescribe higher punishment for border and security officers who, for a fee, turn a blind eye and allow our enemies to enter our country to hurt us. We must intensify and change the rules governing background checks on people seeking to buy property or those who seek to rent business and residential premises. I feel some form of resignation where people say terrorism is a global phenomenon and there's nothing we can do about it. Let us reject the temptation to accept that men and women who have wronged no one being gunned down as they pursue their pleasure or at work is normal when it is done by terrorists because it can be done anywhere. And this is not the time to issue travel advisories against coming to Kenya. But doing so is to hurt the victim. We are the victims. And at this time is when we want to know who our friends are. Because a friend in need is a friend indeed. And Kenyans have done no harm to anybody. It's the terrorists and they are gone. Please don't try to prevent people from coming to Kenya because you're going to hurt the Kenyan economy.